I just want to thank everybody for helping me out with my children for the evening. They love y'all. When I first was coming to Paradox, everyone was like, "You gotta go somewhere for them to teach you how to be a mother," or was the problem that you have to be going to a parenting class? Nobody can't teach you to be a parent. But when I came, I realized it was not about learning how to be a parent, but more so how to learn how to have better skills, understand the child to be a better parent, if that makes sense to you. The first class really broke me down because it taught me about my emotions. And I was like, wow, I react to my children behaving this way because I have past traumas that I didn't deal with. Or I'm trying to understand. I didn't understand that I had issues that I needed to mend to be able to understand them better. Yeah. As the class progressed, it became more fun because that wall was broken and now I know what I need to do. And I would go home and tell my children how much fun I had and what I learned. They were like so excited to come to the class, to come to one of, not to class. So the community thing is what really brought me, and that's what Paradox stands for, changing families one community at a time. So I'm so grateful to be a part of this particular community. I've seen you out and about in the street. I've seen you out and about in the street, and it's just like you look and you say, we went through this together. And so I learned what I learned, but that's for me, and we all learned something different. So as a community, it takes a village to raise a child. So I've said from the beginning that I wanted to give everyone else that's in my new community a chance to come up and share something. So I'm not taking my whole 2 to 5 minutes for myself. I would like to share it with whomever participated in the class, because the most valuable thing was that I need to deal with my emotions better to be a better parent. It's not about what they do. Like the young lady just said, it's about how I react to what they do. So that was the giveaway for me. So, oh, see, we got somebody.
About community. So here's me doing my part, and the community's just come and join Camilah and say something. Now, I'm Sekerra, and I am probably the last person who joined this class. I actually joined late. I did not know about it. I did not know Paradox was offering classes. I was just out there in the wind doing my own thing and living my best life. And this really and truly came about as a conversation with a close work friend of mine who was also doing the courses at the point in time as well. And she called and asked if I can come to the classes. And I was so happy that she did, because whether or not I could graduate, I was just happy to be there. And for me, you can say it's fate, you can say it's coincidence. For me, I'm saying my God is awesome, and look how wonderful He works in mysterious ways. So I am so happy that I came. And even in the days where I did not feel like coming to class, I had another motivator. My daughter said, well, I have to go to daycare, so you need to figure it out. So that's a you problem. That's not a me problem, because I'm going to daycare. And she made sure that she told every teacher, every person at my workplace, it's Thursday and she needs to go to daycare. So I had no choice but to go to classes because she needed to go to daycare. So as we say, and a child should lead them as well. Yes? And Camilah mentioned community and the fact that Paradox is building communities. And I would like to add to that thank Paradox for the work that they do and the fact that they are now a part of my community. And I want to thank the class as well, because these are persons that have joined my life, but also I didn't realize that I already knew some of them. So now I realize that my community also includes my coworkers. My community includes dance moms that I didn't even know that their children went to the same dance school as mine did. Right? So it includes neighbors, it includes friends, people that have the same financial aspects and interests as I do, and persons who really and truly just get it. And I just want to thank you as parents as well for having that drive and wanting to know more about your children and how you can also be a better parent, and not only be a better parent, but help them to be better people in the future and also add to their communities. And I also want to really thank the aunties for making daycare really special for my daughter, because without you, clearly I may not have made it to class, because daycare was clearly awesome. Yes. And that is it for me. I just want to say thank you. And now also to know that I am also within your community. So I hope we all keep in contact. And there, if we all have struggles, there are times that we can actually help each other out, whether it's with something from the classes or just something that we've learned personally. It's something that we can identify with. Thank you.
Um, I attended I'm going to read from my phone just because yeah. I attended the positive parenting class with my wife Claire. We have two kids. They're here with us. I found this class because a colleague of mine recommended this course to me. And we had a conversation about, because she has kids as well. So we talk from time to time about our experiences. And she relayed that she knew some people who took the parenting class, and by her words, the class changed their approach to parenting and changed their life in general, for the better. So I discussed it with Claire, and we decided to try this class. I myself was feeling a bit overwhelmed. I will not speak for Claire. She could speak for herself if she wants, but I felt a bit overwhelmed. So I felt like I really needed some guidance. So here I am. All right. After starting this course, I was very surprised how quickly my eyes were opened by the material presented by the speakers. For the very first class, I was rethinking my whole approach to parenting. Mr. Tony Alton helped me realize how much my children do what I do and not what I say. I needed to lead more by example and build my emotional intelligence so I am not so triggered by my kids' outbursts. I realized that the way I was responding to the situation influences the way they respond to the situation. And I had the power to affect the challenging parenting situation, how challenging parenting situation unfolds. In fact, this idea was a common thread throughout the modules of the course. The idea that we need to work on our own behaviors and decisions before expecting our children to do the same. For instance, in conflict resolution, as presented by Ms. Terry Beth Thompson, our children see how we resolve conflict between us and other people, and they are more likely to practice the same techniques. Also, in the module, We Are What We Eat with Mr. Brian Payne, I realized that if I eat healthier, my kids see me eating healthier and they will emulate that. One of the other areas where I realized I needed help and power that's put me on the right path was discipline. Not just disciplining my kids, but also disciplining myself to have the fortitude to do difficult things. Many presenters highlighted the importance of consistency in discipline and not giving up because things are difficult, and also not being too hard on yourself for past mistakes. Learn from the mistakes and move on. From Mr. Sergeant Jemmett, I learned that discipline is not just about spanking the child and giving timeouts, but also, more importantly, it is about training them to do the right thing even when they are not there. Even when we are not there, and instilling good values. Following one of Mr. Sergeant Gemmett's suggestions, we decided to use a reward chart to encourage positive behavior and discourage negative behavior, and saw an important improvement. Yes. For instance, our daughter is hitting her brother less, and our son is not asking about screen time like he was before. Many Another presenter that shifted our thinking on discipline was Mr. Donna Telcox in the co-parenting session, who showed us that many of the people in our children's lives are also co-parents. And it is very important that we have conversations with them to make sure that they're kind of on the same page when it comes to discipline, and creating the consistency that is so important. One final common thread, which validated something we had been doing already, is to have good conversation with our children. This was emphasized, for example, in Mr. Sean Clark's session on bullying, where talking with our children can help you recognize any warning signs your child is being bullied or as being a bully. It was also a big feature of Mrs. Worrell's session on sexual and reproductive health, where we actually practice having challenging conversations with our children, which was helpful. Another presenter, Mr. Colin St. Hill, even recommended having regular family meetings. Every week, we were greeted by Mrs. Cecile Clark Richmond and Mrs. Diane Cummings, who both made us feel welcome and comfortable to speak and ask questions. And I would say overall, my colleague made a very good recommendation, and this course has helped me tremendously.